Hi, welcome. I'm Jennifer Ray, and welcome to The Pulse. Today we are talking about Sizzle, a fundraiser, and my first guest is not only a committee member for Sizzle, but he is the host and MC of the event. So please welcome Bob Cummings.
Hi, Jennifer. Well, thank you for inviting us here to promote the Sizzle. It's called Sizzle for a Cause, and it's a fundraising event for the ICA food shelf here in the western suburbs. And this is our 5th annual event. And we're going to be holding it out at the wonderful Lafayette Club this year on Lake Minnetonka. We started 5 years ago with a much smaller event at the community center outside of Excelsior. And
sure, that is a much smaller venue, yeah.
Much smaller venue, and we've grown it each year, and it's gotten more exciting and more fun, and we've gotten more and more support in the community, and many things have just kind of blossomed as we've gone along.
Now, this is going to be held, I want to make sure that I get this right, Thursday, February 23rd.
That's correct.
And it's at 6:30 to 9 o'clock, but there's also a pre-party.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about the ticket, the price, and what you get with the pre-party? Because I understand there's something special with that.
There is. Tickets for general admission are $50. And we hope that we'll just sell a ton of those. We're expecting probably 300 to 400 people at this event.
Oh, that's a lot of people.
It is.
Okay, that's a big event.
It's been very, very popular. 2 years ago, we had that big blizzard here in the area on the night of the event. And believe it or not, almost everybody showed up for that event, regardless of the weather. It was very gratifying that everybody showed up. So,
wow.
Very popular event, and I would highly recommend that if you plan on coming, that you get your tickets in advance right away, and they're available online, and we'll have the link to the website.
Okay, we'll show the link actually at the bottom of this, and they can go on there. If by chance they don't get around to getting to a computer and getting the link, can they in fact buy tickets the day of the event? Is it more expensive? Do they get a discount if they go online?
They're the same price, but assuming that there's some left on the day, they can get them at the door.
Okay, and then the special pre-party is with Chef Eli, and what does that entail?
Well, Chef Eli was the winner of the Golden Cleaver Award last year, so we're bringing him back to be he's going to be one of the judges, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But he is going to get out in front of the group, and he's going to prepare some appetizers that are his specialties, show you how it's done so that you can do it at home as well.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, and of course we'll have some champagne, and it'll be a real party atmosphere. So it's kind of like a live a chef preparation. You can walk around as he's doing it, and of course you'll get to sample all the goodies as part of that event.
Well, that sounds absolutely fabulous, and I look forward to seeing you there.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope that it is just, you know, we get more than 400 people there, hopefully.
Oh, it'd be wonderful if we could sell the thing out and have a waiting list.
Yeah.
That would
what
be
is
just
the
great.
sellout? In a perfect world, we'd sell how many tickets? 500?
Probably 400.
400?
There's still a capacity issue. You know,
right.
the fire
So
marshal
400,
will
yes.
say, you know.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get out there and we'll sell 400 tickets.
Right. And the setup this year is a little different than last year too. We have it in actually two rooms in the venue. At the Lafayette Club, they have a beautiful ballroom. And that's where the main stage and things will be. Okay. Our judges will be there as well. And then there's a bit smaller side room where the competition will be. Each one of the judges will have their own competition table and cooking stations, and we'll have them all lit so they're all set to go. And once the competition starts, people can mingle around and watch the action, which is really fun. This year we're also going to have some live streaming video and a big screen up on the wall as well. So we'll actually be doing live interviews with the chefs as they're cooking and putting it up on the big screen as well. So it's going to be much more of a TV and much more of an event than it's been in previous years as well.
Very interactive.
Very interactive.
Bob, thanks so much for coming in and sharing some information, and good luck. I hope it's a good fundraiser for you.
Thank you very much.
LMCC HD is here. Here's how you can watch our Government Channel 8 in high definition. If you have a cable-ready TV, you can watch us on Mediacom Channel 8.1. And if you have a set-top box, you can watch us on Mediacom Channel 808. Your community TV, now in HD.
Welcome back. I'm here with Kate Walensky, the Community Engagement Officer of the ICA Food Shelf. And that is the beneficiary of the Sizzle for a Cause fundraiser that's held at the Lafayette Club on the 23rd. So Kate, can you, first of all, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having
And can
me.
you give us a little bit about where the ICA Food Shelf is, who benefits? This fundraiser, do they give cash and you buy food? How does this all work to benefit the ICA Food Shelf?
Sure. So we do have 2 locations. We have an administrative office off of Minnetonka Boulevard, but the food shelf itself is sort of at the border of Minnetonka and Hopkins on K-Tel Drive. We opened it 3 years ago, and it's designed as a choice-based food shelf. So it's much like shopping in a grocery store. We serve about 820 clients every month. That's families. And we serve both Minnetonka and Hopkins, and then the Lower Lake communities, which includes Excelsior and Shorewood and Greenwood. And Sizzle, it's in its 5th year, as Bob mentioned. It's a wonderful event that raises a lot of money for ICA.
And 800 families, that is a lot.
Yeah.
And how do you determine whether somebody is able to take advantage of the local food shelf?
Every new client that comes in has the opportunity to meet with a case manager. And they do sort of an intake with them and do a little interview and let them know not only the services that are available to them at ICA, but the other services within the community, whether it's food assistance or clothing or energy assistance, and just sort of help connect them to everything that's available to them.
Okay, well that sounds absolutely wonderful. And this is open year-round?
Yes, absolutely.
365 days?
Yes, it
And
is.
then when you are a family and
Yeah.
you've been deemed A-okay to go in and buy some food, what kind of food do they get there? What are their options?
Yeah.
And when are they open for them to actually go receive this food?
Yes, so the food is free for everyone who can come into the food shelf. And we do have evening and weekend hours, and then we're open most days of the week as well. They have a grocery cart, just like you would if you go to a grocery store, and we have a lot of volunteers that help people make decisions. And it depends on the size of the family. And so you go to each sort of section of the food shelf. Maybe you're in the pasta section. And depending on the size of your family, you might get to choose 6 items from there. And then you move on to dairy and meat. And then we check out based on weight.
Okay, and so do you get X amount of weight per X number of family members?
That's just how we handle our inventory, but no, you get a certain number of items per section.
Certain number of items
Yeah.
per section.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if somebody misses this, because this is going to play during the month of February, but they
Yeah.
want to somehow or another participate or help benefit the local food shelf, what are some ways that they can do that?
Well, financial contributions are the biggest way that you can help the food shelf. We actually are able to purchase our food from a food bank. So $1's worth of food that you or I could purchase at the grocery store, ICA can actually turn around and purchase $10 worth of food that
Oh,
goes
wow.
into our food shelf. So that's the best way you can serve your local food shelf. We have over 1,000 volunteers that help in a variety of capacities at ICA as well.
That's a lot of volunteers.
Yes, we're very fortunate.
That's like one volunteer per family.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without them. It actually equates to over $1 million in services per year that we receive from all the help from our volunteers.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And last but not least, how did you get involved with the food shelf?
I've been in fundraising for many, many years, and I decided to leave my position when I had 3 little boys, but I couldn't stay away. And we moved out here, and I heard about the food shelf, and they were looking for someone to help, and it's been a great fit. I've been there for 2 years.
Well,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Kate. Thanks for coming
Yeah,
in.
thank you so much.
Yeah, good luck with the fundraiser.
Thank you very much.
In our Sizzle for a Cause, we have Jill Holter with us, who is one of the main instrumental people associated with not only the food shelf, but with the Sizzle for a Cause fundraiser. So I want to say, Jill, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to discuss with you, because you know all the nuances of this, is the actual event itself and this actual cooking contest and some of the details about it. Who are the chefs that are going to be involved? How are they picked? Who are the restaurants? What exactly is it? And then last but not least, we'll talk about the judges.
Sure. It's really exciting. Have you seen the TV show Chopped or Iron Chef?
Yes, of course.
Yep, it's a similar format. We have 5 restaurants participating. There is Baccio, which is near Ridgedale. The Lafayette Club, which is our host site, they're submitting a chef in the competition. We also have Birches on the Lake out in Long Lake. And then we have Victor's in Excelsior. And our final restaurant is Gianni's Steakhouse in Wayzata. So each restaurant submits a chef, and they can also bring a sous chef with them. And right at the beginning of the competition, they get a surprise protein. It's a mystery ingredient they don't know about, and it's always a protein-based item. So in the past, it's been beef tenderloin. I think there was a ribeye steak one time, and Cargill is our generous donor of the meat. And they find that out, and then they also get 1 or 2 surprise ingredients donated by Lake Winds. And then they all have access to a pantry table with basic cooking staples, herbs and spices, and eggs and flour and different aromatics and things to round out what they have to prepare as an amazing entree to present to the celebrity judges. And they have 45 minutes to cook. So when we say go, they've got their protein, their other 2 ingredients, they get to choose from the pantry table, and then they have to start cooking. And all of the attendees of the event get to watch the cooking competition right up. You can walk right up to the table and watch them chop and sizzle and toss, and it's really exciting.
Oh, that does sound very fun. And who decides, is it the committee? Who decides? Is that you that decides like what the mystery ingredients are going to be?
Cargill, who donates the protein, they decide, you know, depending on which one of their food partners that they're working with. And then I get to, because I work for Lake Winds, I do the shopping for the mystery ingredients at Lake Winds, and it's top secret. There's a, our committee knows, and that's it. We want, we're not going to give them gummy bears or, you know, anything too strange, but we want to challenge them, but we also want it to be delicious.
Right, right. And then, like, what is this? Are they making something for 4 people or something for 100 people? Or?
They are making 3 portions for our 3 judges. We have 3 celebrity judges.
Okay.
Last year, Chef Eli from Coalition walked away with the Golden Cleaver, so he's coming back to be a judge on our panel. And then we also have the amazing foodie, 82-year-old involved in the food community forever in the Twin Cities, Sue Zellickson. Yep, she's on WCCO radio. She writes for Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine. She's a great food partner, so she's really excited to be on our panel. And then we also have Robin Robinson, who's a well-known name in the local media.
Yes, she certainly is.
Yep, so randomly drawn numbers. The restaurants prepare their food. They all finish at the same time, and then one by one they present their dish to the judges, and they talk about what ingredients they used and how they prepared it and why they think it's special. And then the judges taste, and they score, and then the scores are tabulated, and then we award the Golden Cleaver to the winning restaurant.
Oh.
And then they get to put that cleaver in their restaurant for the whole year and brag about it.
And then is it a moving cleaver?
Yep. So
it's a moving cleaver.
Yep, this
okay.
is our 5th year. So the first year was won by Joey Novas in Tonka Bay. And then for 3 years, it sat at, or for 2 years, it sat at Jake O'Connor's in Excelsior. They won it 2 years in a row. And then this last year, it's been housed at Coalition. So it's up for grabs this year. There's 5 new restaurants. And it's kind of a hot ticket. These restaurants really want to be in it. It's a fun competition.
Oh, sure, sure.
And they all are very well aware of the ICA food shelf, and they're happy to partner, and they donate their time. Each of the restaurants also brings appetizers for the attendees of the event. So you get to taste food from the restaurants while the chefs are cooking. I'm
assuming it's a cash bar.
Yep, there's a cash bar.
Okay, is it a full bar or
Yep,
limited?
no, it's full bar, beer and wine and spirits, so whatever everybody likes. There's plenty of mocktails available. And it definitely appeals to the food-loving crowd, but there's no reason why if you have kids that are interested in cooking, they might even enjoy the event.
Oh, I'm sure that they would.
Yep.
And then is there, in the VIP area, I didn't read a whole lot on that, but that is something where you're buying a table.
Yep.
And I think the cost of that is a little bit more than the $50 per
It
ticket
is,
one.
yep. If you just want to come to the event at 6:30, it's $50. If you want to come to the pre-party, which we spoke about before, that's a $75 ticket, which gets you into that pre-party with special appetizers and the demonstration by Chef Eli and a complimentary glass of champagne. If you want to have a reserved table right in the front, right by the judge's stage where all the action is, it's a table for 10 and it's $1,500. And you get 2 bottles of wine at your table, you get reserved seating, and you also get a prepared platter of antipasto for the table. So they get extra food, they get wine, and they get a great place to sit.
Sure, sure.
So that's
Sounds
a really
fabulous.
exclusive. We only have a few of those to sell. So if it's a great opportunity for business entertaining. So if somebody's interested in grabbing a table, grab it quick.
Absolutely. And it starts at 6:30, right?
6:30 is the main
But
event.
5:30 is the pre-party.
Pre-party,
And then how long do the chefs actually get to cook?
They have about 45 minutes. So how it works, you come at 6:30, you check in. Everything is electronic. It's amazing. We've got a live auction and a silent auction, and then you buy your ticket, and there's all sorts of other activities going on at the event, and everything is tied to a bid number. So when you come in and you've registered already, money doesn't have to exchange hands. If you're playing a game or bidding on a silent auction item, everything is already pre-tied to your credit card. So you can go and survey the amazing array of silent auction items. We've got food packages and clothing and jewelry and different things donated by local businesses. We have a few exciting live auction packages, and we've got a really terrific professional auctioneer, Karen Sorbo, and that'll be happening after the cooking competition. So you come, you get a cocktail, you shop at the silent auction, you enjoy the appetizers, and the competition will get underway at about 7. And they have 45 minutes to cook and present, and then we award, and then there's time to wrap up the auction, and everybody can check out and take their goodies home.
Well, it sounds like an absolutely fabulous evening. And in a perfect world, how much are we raising for the food shelf?
I would love to raise $40,000 this year. I think
that'd be
that's
fabulous.
our committee's goal. I think last year we were shy of that, and so we're going to shoot for that again this year and see if we can make it. We have really amazing sponsors that have stepped up and contributed money and support. Michael Foods is our presenting sponsor. Michael Foods has been a food business in the Twin Cities for 100 years, and they represent brands that we all know, Crystal Farms, Eggland's Best, Simply Potatoes. They are in the food service industry, but we also buy their products at the grocery store every day, and they're a great partner. The Excelsior Rotary is a sponsor. Chad Babcock, the State Farm Insurance agent in Excelsior, is our silver sponsor this year. So we have amazing community partners. Lots of people donating their time and talents to this event.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a great event. And then I wanted you to share your story, actually, of how you even came to know about the food shelf and know about the Sizzle for a Cause and how all of that came to fruition.
Sure. When the event first started, I kind of jumped on the committee last minute. I've always been involved in food and interested in cooking, and a friend knew that I was a food lover, and she said, this committee might need somebody to kind of help with the food in the restaurants. And so the first year I came onto the committee late and had a terrific time at the event. And then the next year, I was going through a divorce, and I had to go back to work, and I had a large family. I have 6 kids, and I found myself very short on cash and resources, and I walked into my local food shelf and I asked for help, and they helped me. So my kids and I used the food shelf for a few months, and ever since then it's been my desire to give back in any way I can, and this event is kind of my main deal, and it fulfills me, but most of all I get to give back to the people that helped me out. Families are the main people, as Kate said. It's families that come to the food shelf, and out here in the western suburbs we don't often think of people with needs. Everybody seems to be doing well. It's a comfortable, beautiful place to live, but there's hungry people in the western
Absolutely.
suburbs, and ICA is there for them. Whatever your need is, no matter how long you need to use the food shelf, if you need a job, they'll help you with career counseling. If you need food for a couple of months, which is most of the people that go to ICA, it's a temporary. You know, we're all kind of one event away from needing assistance.
Right.
Job loss, illness, death, divorce, whatever it might be, even an injury, can set a family back for months. But they're there, and there's no judgment. They're very compassionate. There's a lot of dignity. And so because I was treated that way, I want to make sure everybody, all of our neighbors, have access like I did.
Well, that's wonderful. And it's wonderful that it's there for us in the community. Groceries are expensive.
Groceries
and
are
with 6
expensive.
children, my goodness.
That's a lot of mouths.
That's
Yep, and
a
that
lot
was
of mouths to
overwhelming.
feed.
And as a mother, that was my first thought. What are we going to have for dinner tonight? You know, that's what you think about
Yeah.
every day. What, 3 meals a day? Kids are hungry. I had to go to work. They had to eat. So
Well, I'm glad it was there for you, and I'm glad it will be there for many other families that need it.
Yeah, and there's no shame. Don't be afraid. Just ask for help.
But in order to make that food available, we do need donations.
Yes.
Whether that be via cash or food, or if you have fabulous talent and some extra time, feel free to contact them. We'll put the link at the bottom for the website, and they can contact who would they contact at the food shelf if they
You
are
could just call the main number.
Call the main number.
And say that you're interested in volunteering. There's all sorts of food drives throughout the western suburbs here that ICA does. So I guarantee you, if you go to a local church, or if you've got kids in school, or if you have a postman that delivers to your house, you're going to find out ways to donate. But call ICA and ask, how can I help? What do you need?
Okay.
And they'll tell you.
Well, that sounds wonderful. So remember, Sizzle for a Cause, and it is, I want to make sure I get this right, the 23rd, right?
Yep, Thursday, February 23rd at 6:30 at Lafayette Club.
Try and get your tickets beforehand, but if not, you can walk in the door and buy them.
Yes.
And we'll hope to get 400 people there and hope to see you there. Well, thank you so much for coming,
Thank you.
Jill. And
Thank
good
you
luck.
very much.
Thank you. And this is Jennifer Ray. Thanks for watching The Pulse. Until next time, have a great day.